Slenderman stabbing assailant Morgan Geyser allegedly told cops who caught her. Interesting. So apparently we've gotten a update from this story since 10 years ago, actually, as a matter of fact. For those of you guys who don't know what this story was, I will try to sum it up to the best of my ability and the best of my recollection of it. Basically, what happened was 10 years ago, back in, I believe, 2014. This was when the hype of the Slenderman movie, I think, was coming out, I think in 2015? I could be wrong. I don't know. No, the Slenderman movie was 2018. My bad. It was, like, many years later. Anyway, the hype for Slenderman was still, like, kind of there for 2013, a little bit of 2014, until this situation came around, where two girls basically stabbed a woman, or stabbed and killed another kid, basically, in the forest, because they thought they were sacrificing to the, I guess, Slenderman or whatever, or what they believed was Slenderman. But it turns out both of them are just really fucking crazy, and then they got arrested and they got taken to a juvie center. Apparently there is a update to that story 10 years later, so I'm interested in it. Let's see what we got. Slenderman stabbing assailant Morgan Geyser found after fleeing police. Morgan Geyser, who in 2014 stabbed a friend 19 times to appease the fictional character Slenderman, cutting off her monitor bracelet, according to the police. Just to be fucking clear, I am so sad that Slenderman's, like, online reputation and, like, the whole talk about Slenderman died down because of this situation. Very sad stuff. When she was captured on Sunday night, nearly 200 miles from the Wisconsin group home, she allegedly fled Slenderman stabbing assailant Morgan Geyser, who officers told her to identify to just Google her, according to Illinois police. The 22-year-old Geyser, who in 2014 stabbed a friend 19 times to appease the fictional character Slenderman, was located on Sunday after she allegedly cut off her Department of Corrections monitoring bracelet and left the group home where she had been a resident, authorities said. So basically, she made it so that the police couldn't track her, or I guess nobody could track her, just so she could fucking try to escape from juvie or whatever. So she tried a whole-ass prisoner escape here. Jesus fucking Christ. This ain't no Shawshank Redemption. Geyser was taken into custody at a truck stop in Posen, Illinois, with a 42-year-old man she had traveled across state lines with. According to a Posen Police Department statement released on Monday, police found the pair sleeping on the sidewalk, the statement said. Wow, that's fucking crazy. I mean, I imagine this is gonna take her back to prison for even longer. I mean, she was already having, like, a really long prison sentence to begin with, but after this, there's no way they're not gonna add those to her charges, or pre-existing charges. The female repeatedly refused to provide her real name, initially gave a false one, the police said. After continued attempts to identify her, she finally stated that she didn't want to tell the officers who she was because she had done something really bad and suggested the officers could just Google her name. Yeah, just to be clear, she definitely... I think once she realized that she was caught, I feel like she kind of just realized, okay, the jig is up. There's no way that I'm going to be able to tell the police officers any, like, false information or whatever. They're going to Google me anyways. They're going to find out who I am anyways, so I might as well just speed up this process, even though she certainly would try to get away if she could. Once she provided her real name, officers learned she wanted for escape in Wisconsin. Both Geyser and her male companion were detained without incident, police said. Yeah, I imagine the, whoever the fucking 42-year-old, which, by the way, I don't know what the fuck a 42-year-old is doing with this person to begin with. I imagine the 42-year-old's going to get charged with, like, conspiring or, like, to try to, I guess, comply with, like, criminals or whatever. So there's definitely no way he gets off from that. Geyser's traveling companion, whose name was not released, was charged with criminal trespassing and obstructing identification, according to police. He has since been released on authorities and did not provide information on his involvement in Geyser's escape from the group home. Posen police said the pair took a bus to Posen from Wisconsin. Posen is about 25 minutes from Chicago. Before being located, Geyser was last seen in Madison, Wisconsin around 8 p.m. on Saturday with an adult acquaintance, Madison police said in the statement posted on social media, which included a recent surveillance image of Geyser. Geyser will be held until transfer to Cook County for an extradition hearing at 26th and California. The department said, referring by address to the Criminal Court Administration Building in Chicago. It was not immediately clear when that hearing would take place. Wow, crazy. Prior to her daughter's arrest, Geyser's mother, Angie Geyser, said in a statement to ABC News on Sunday, "If you see Morgan, please call the police. Morgan, if you can see this, we love you and we want you to know you are safe." Dude, it's gotta be so heartbreaking for the family. Like, even after 10 years, like, I'm sure they've had time to process everything and deal with everything. But, like, it is just such a traumatic thing for, like, a family member, especially your kid, to be, like, in the police station and to, like, actually, like, this is how their life turned out, you know? Like, when your parents had you, they probably had, like, a whole life visioned out for you, you know? Or maybe they had, like, some idea of how your life was going to go, and then you just end up in prison and juvie for the rest of your life. That sucks. That's got to be super demoralizing for the parents. Geyser's attorney, Tony Cotton, also released a statement on Sunday to ABC News asking Geyser to turn herself in, saying it was in her best interest to do so. In March, Waukesha County Circuit Court, Jesus Christ, that is such a mouthful, Judge Michael Boren ordered that Geyser be released from the Winnebago Mental Health Institute and sent to a group home after 3 psychologists testified she was prepared for supervised release. As part of her release, Geyser was ordered to wear a monitoring bracelet. Geyser, according to police, cut off her Department of Corrections monitoring bracelet and left the group home sometime Saturday night. Geyser and another girl, Anissa Ware, which I believe Anissa Ware was also part of it, were charged as adults and pleaded to the guilty of the stabbing of a classmate, Peyton Leutner, 19 times in 2014, when the victim was 12 years old. And I believe they were around the same age as well, yeah, or I guess like younger. Both Geyser and Ware's guilty pleas were later vacated when they were both found not guilty by reason of mental disease or defect. Yeah, that was obviously like the loophole that they had to go down because they realized that like stabbing and killing their classmate is like indefensible. Both of them were subsequently sent to psychiatric institutions. Peyton Leutner and her family are aware of the most recent situation regarding Morgan Geyser. A spokesperson for the Leutner family said in a statement in ABC News, Peyton and her family are safe, working closely with law enforcement to ensure their continued safety. The family would like to thank all of law enforcement entities involved in the efforts to apprehend Morgan, the statement continued. The Leutner family also wishes to thank the outpouring support from family, friends, and well-wishers who have contacted them during this difficult time. In January, Judge Boren ordered the State of Department Health Services to come up with a plan for Geyser's supervised release. So for the release, like, way later, they say, right? With the additional charges that Geyser is going to get here because of, like, the attempted escape with, like, somebody else. Geyser was transferred in March from the Winnebago Mental Health Facility to a group home despite concerns raised by prosecutors who alleged she had violent communication with the man outside the facility and had read a book in the facility with themes of sexual sadism and murder. Yeah, obviously, these people are fucking crazy. They are genuinely so crazy. I reckon they probably should stay in the group home for life. I don't think that they are going to be good members to society. I don't think they're going to be safe when they're out there in society. Don't know if there's any hope for rehabilitation for these people, especially considering they're exhibiting the same kind of behavior they did 10 years ago. You know, maybe 10 years ago, I guess if it was 10 years ago, I probably would think, you know, maybe there is hope for rehabilitation after a long time, but now, probably not. In 2014, Geyser and Ware lured their friend Peyton Leutner, then 12, to the woods in Waukesha, Wisconsin, where Geyser stabbed Leutner while Ware watched. Geyser and Ware left Leutner alone in the woods, injured and bleeding. Leutner pulled herself to safety and was rushed to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. Leutner survived the attack. Oh, I thought they killed her. Oh, I thought they killed her. Personally, did she survive? Okay, so she survived the attack that captured headlines worldwide after Geyser and Ware claimed that the stabbing was intended to please Slenderman, a faceless fictional internet-based character that garnered a cult-like following. I am still very sad that this situation right here was the reason why the reputation of, like, Slenderman Mythos Online is just, like, gone downhill. I think it still has, like, a cult following, probably, most likely, but it's just, like, this was definitely a huge part in Slenderman kind of, like, dying off, which really sucks. Geyser pleaded guilty to first-degree attempted intentional homicide and was sentenced to Winnebago Mental Health Institute in 2018. Geyser was later found not guilty by reason of mental disease or defect and was sentenced to up to 40 years in a psychiatric institution. Ware was also found not guilty by mental disease or defect after pleading guilty to a lesser charge. She was sentenced up to 25 years in psychiatric institute. In 2021, at the age of 19, Ware was granted supervised release. Okay. So I guess they still exist in society to somewhere. Have they, like, rehabilitated to some capacity? In an interview with ABC's 2020 in October 2019, Leutner said she had worked hard to heal from the attack and rebuild a normal life. She told ABC News that she was ready to reclaim her story. "I've come to accept all the scars that I have," Leutner said in the exclusive interview with the ABC's David Muir. "It was part of me. I don't think I have much of them. They will probably just go away and fade eventually." I mean, God bless. Thank God she's alive and well. Thank God. I know she's going to be traumatized with this probably for life, but, you know, I just, God bless her. Hopefully she's doing well. But this update to this entire saga is really insane. Wow.